This was not planned. I just made the decision randomly in my head, but this discussion is gonna be completely different. We're gonna do Victor versus Molly. I'm gonna present you guys both cases. I'm gonna present Victor's side, Andrew's brother, and Molly's side. And I want you guys down below to place your case. Put your case down in the comments below and tell me what you think. Who was right, who was wrong, and why. And if you want to talk about anything else too, like, drop it down below. I'm here to talk. So let's go. Okay, so guys, we got our episode. We got our episode dedicated to Molly and Andrew. As a fan, we stand forever and ever. Molly and Andrew, they just look great together, okay? Okay, but hear me out. Hear me out. I love them. I really do, but I needed more this episode. Like, it was great. They had their fun. They had their scenes, you know, on the plane, on the balcony. Okay, I was kind of, I like that one. In the bedroom where he was tied up and she was dominant because he likes a dominant woman. And I'm like, yes. Molly, that was great. Yes, you could have your cake and you could eat it too, Andrew. But I needed more, and as a fan I feel like that's great because I want substance from Molly and Andrew. I was hoping that we would get a heart-to-heart conversation between them, maybe find out more about his life, but this is sort of like a gateway episode. The way that this episode is sort of a gateway, we sort of see more into Andrew's life. We meet the brother Victor and the sister-in-law Lydia, but we also hear about his sister Fiona. And Lydia, the sister-in-law, was telling Andrew that Victor, his brother, tried to invite Lydia to this vacation, but she didn't want to go. And Andrew was like, yeah, she never comes to anything. But Lydia's like, she's doing really better. She's living in Seattle. She found a job. And Andrew was like, cool. And Molly was like, talk more, sis. I want to hear this. Talk more. And we all want to hear this. So what do you guys think? What do you think? What's Fiona's thing? I think she's a drug addict, or she is a drug addict. Not a drug addict, but she's in between. Like, one day she's sober, next day she's not. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, because I feel like we need that in this show. We got the mental health. Now we need the addiction, or maybe a gambler. Who knows? But there's something there. And also, I don't think Andrew and Victor were tight, but they sort of rekindled their relationship, which is why Andrew is so understanding and likes to work on relationships. So we meet Victor for the first time, and I think that their interaction together was pretty funny at the start. How Victor was like, oh, you've cut your hair. You finally don't look like Russell Brand anymore. And then Andrew was like, well, you look like Mark Zuckerberg. And I thought that was a great way to describe both of these characters. Victor is Mark Zuckerberg, and you could say Andrew is sort of like a Russell Brand type. Because Victor is the type that is predictable, likes organization, and is a rational thinker, or likes to be rational. And you sort of could see how Andrew is sporadic, funny, sort of like the rebel of the two, and a free spirit. So the objective of this trip for Molly was obviously to spend time with Andrew, but at the same time get to know his family and also like be on good terms with them, impress them. And the best way to get to a man's heart is to get to his family. If the family loves you, the man will love you as well. It's a happy, functioning family all around, and that was Molly's mission. She was telling Andrew, like, boo, don't worry, like, I'm here. We're not going to talk about Issa. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be present. We're going to go with the flow, and I'm going to roll with the punches. I'm going to do whatever your brother says. If your brother says jump, I will jump off a cliff. I will skydive. I will have fun. We're going to have fun, whatever this man wants to do. And she did it. She followed the schedule. She went on the hike. She had fun. She did things out of her comfort zone, and it was good vibes all around. They finished off at sort of like a nighttime party, and everything was going well. They went back home. They went back to their hotel, and Andrew was just so impressed with Molly, and Molly felt like she accomplished her goal. And I was there like, Yes, yes, sis, you're doing well, just have fun. But I knew in the back of my mind something was about to go down, and I did not expect this to happen. I didn't think this was actually going to happen. I thought it was going to be a fight between her and Andrew, but it went deeper than that. So during this, I will not be biased. I will not I will not be biased. I will just state facts, and you guys can interpret it as any way you want and tell me in the comments below. I will be stating what has happened, when it happened, what I think I saw, and you could go back and check what you think you saw, and we could go from there. But other than that, I am not picking sides for this one. I will definitely in the comment section, but I'm just gonna present the case. Okay. Okay, serious. I'm the moderator. Serious. I want like Law and Order to play in the background. So, case of today, was the towel lady racist? Who was right? Was it Victor? Was it Molly? Let's see. So I will be doing a scene by scene, frame by frame case breakdown. So let's begin. Okay, so at the timestamp of 17 minutes and 19 seconds, Molly pulls up to the beach towel booth. So as Molly is pulling up, the towel lady is handing the white couple the towels. At timestamp 17 minutes and 24 seconds, the towel lady welcomes her and says, "Hi, hello." It was a warm welcome. There was no like, "Hi, hello," or like dismiss her or be silent and wait for Molly to ask questions. She said, "Hi, how are you?" And she went into her policy and said, "Can I please see an ID card?" I didn't hear any animosity, any snobbiness from the towel lady, but that's all I'm gonna say. Molly shows frustration and tells the hotel woman that, "Hey, I'm vacationing here. I go to this resort. Can I please have a towel? Sorry, I don't have my key." And the woman was like, "Sorry, I can't do that. It's policy, blah, 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 blah." Then Molly goes off and says, so Molly shows frustration and says, "Are you serious? Because the white people didn't have to show their key card. Why should I?" And then the towel lady sort of gets nervous and says, "I do not," she said ma'am, like she was being bare respectful, and she said, "Ma'am, I do not know what you're assuming, but as you can see," and then Molly cut her off before she could even finish what she was gonna say, and she just got frustrated, riled up, and said, "Can you just hand me a towel?" Okay, so at the timestamp of 17 minutes and 50 seconds, Victor was on his way back to the pool. He was walking past the booth. I don't think he acknowledged Molly until he heard some quarreling going on or heard her voice. It is clear that Victor did not witness the prior incident. He only sees the aftermath of Molly yelling at the towel lady. So that was sort of the breakdown of that scene of what happened. Now we're going to go into the premise of both sides. Okay, so the way I took this is that Molly felt implicit racial bias towards herself, and she expressed that. And then on the other hand, you have Victor, who sort of dismissed the experience or feelings that Molly had and just went straight to the facts and questioning whether it is what it is. So let's go into Victor and Molly's side. So Victor believes that the lady was just being intense about her job. It's not that big of a deal. And Molly believes it's just the typical daily BS black people have to face. And then Victor, being himself, take a shot every time Victor says devil's advocate, wants to be the devil's advocate and says, "Do you think it was really about race?" Molly claimed that the towel lady only asked for her ID. And then Victor decides to continue on. "You don't know for sure, but you can make your life harder by assuming." And Molly just says, "You don't get it, you don't understand." Victor rebuttals and replies, "I experience racism too, but I choose to handle it in a different way. You don't have to give it so much power." Okay, so yeah, I know I'm not supposed to be talking in this, but I will say something. I think I noted something when I was watching this. I don't have the timestamp, but I'm just reflecting on it. He said something about, "Oh, I was talking to this guy at the bar and he thought he knew me from college and he's gonna be giving us shots." And I kind of laughed at that because it was sort of Victor dealing with a situation where we don't know who the person he was talking to at the bar was, but you know how certain races, sometimes white people, view other races as all looking the same. You could know this guy named Kevin, or you could know this guy named Mike, and just because they're both Asian, you think they look the same. You know what I mean? So I saw it as a situation like that, and I'm like, he was laughing off about it, but some people would get offended. They would be like, oh, just because I'm Asian or just because I'm black, you think I'm that guy from college, you know? Some people would get offended, and I think that was a way showing the contrast between how he would handle a situation. Lydia chimes in saying something about, oh, guys, let's not do this. This is what the white people want. They want to divide us. And then Victor says, yeah, we got to know when to pick and choose our battles. And Molly did not like that at all. And she said something very controversial. And it's been talked about recently. If anybody watches the Grapevine, it was talked about. I would recommend you go check it out. Well, she says, that's easy for you to say, pick and choose your battles, because you guys only consider yourselves people of color when it only benefits you. I'm only gonna chime in here. I'm gonna say before I let you guys talk. Victor came off really dismissive and condescending to me. He's a prick, he's an asshole, sort of. Yeah, he is. But don't let that distract you from some of the things he did say, because I think some of them are valid points. But his presentation and his delivery in which he said those things came off and with a bad taste. And then Molly came off defensive, but that's understandable, because when you're in that situation and you are the only person of your race and ethnicity, it's sort of panicky and scary, because you usually depend on that other person like you to back you up and help you out. I appreciate how Lydia and Andrew tried their best to sort of like calm and bring down the situation, especially trying to bring down Victor and like put him in check. But I also respect how Andrew gives Molly her space to fight her own battles, because we know Andrew can step in, but he understands that Molly is a strong, independent black woman and she will speak her thoughts. And I don't think it was appropriate for Molly to say F you to his brother, especially if you're trying to make a first impression. But I'll let you guys continue talking below. And yeah, I don't care what anyone says. Yes, we don't see really like the heart-to-heart moments, and we only see like the sex and the lust between them, but I do think Andrew is very good for Molly, because he's slowly teaching her things. He, like, when she's wondering if she messed things up, if she effed things up, he said, no, everything's good. I told my brother what's up, and he apologized, and it's okay. He's my brother. I don't like to let shit fester, which is meaning he doesn't like to let things spoil or take too long for like the relationship to get worse. He's gonna handle it right after the situation, is what she did. And sorry if I don't make sense, but I think Molly could take away something from that with her relationship with Issa. And then to close, we see Molly reach out to her therapist, and clearly she hasn't been talking to her for a while. And it's good to see that Molly is becoming aware that she self-destructs things around her, and she holds on to things, and she needs to learn how to let things go and sort of let things slide, because I'm sorry to say it, what Victor said, Molly needs to learn to pick and choose her battles. Not everything has to be brought up, not everything has to be a fight, and it would be less stressful. She would be, like Issa said, less miserable, and that was good. So in the last episode, we see Issa go to her mom for advice, and now we see Molly becoming vulnerable and going back to her therapist. So it was kind of a full circle. So let me know in the comments below what you think about who was right, or if both parties was right. Was Victor right? Was Molly right? Yeah, I just want to hear your thoughts. So I will see you in the next one.